Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 20 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to the series, don't worry about it. We'll go through a quick recap and then we'll jump into it. Alright, let's go. Okay, so in episode 19, we worked on really getting the food going with regards to the fermented soybean. It's doing okay. It's not great. We are fermenting some cassava down here, which is definitely helping. Our food is... It looks better than it is. It's really not that great, and it's kind of concerning. But okay, so for today, what are we going to be working on? We are going to get more soybean planted up. So you can see that I have let them start working on this dynamite right here, so we can continue to work on that, get this dynamited down, ready for planting. So we will just come back through and make sure that all of this dynamite is the priority. And then we're going to plant more soybean in here because I think we need a more stable supply of soybean going forward. But everything else is doing good. Cassava, mushrooms, kohlrabi's doing okay. I think getting more food will help balance out those other production chains. What else do we need to work on? Two big things, wood and berries. Wood and berries. I don't know how we completely ran out of berries. I'm wondering if we dipped on our food there so significantly that we just ate all of our berries. Because if so, you know, it could happen. So with that being the case, rather than starting a brand new district for the wood production, which we are definitely going to have to do down the line, but we're just not there yet. We got other things we want to work on, and you know, it's not that important. It's not like it's, you know, it's not like it drives the entire game. I've started to dynamite this area. We're going to bring this down because you can see with the water, we should be able to get all of this planted up with wood. It's going to be a little far from the district, but that's okay. It's just kind of a stopgap. And then once we get all this planted up, I'm actually going to remove this road, remove all these trees, and this will all be berries as well. But that's kind of a later on today thing. The big thing that we want to get working on is our soybeans. So let's start to lay out some farms for these soybeans. So I think we could have 2 farms right about here for the soybeans, and I think these should be able to cover this whole area. I could be wrong, but I think that that's going to work. So let's go into triple speed here so that they can keep working on this dynamite while we lay out some storage. So I think we're just going to do one small warehouse right here, or I guess one medium warehouse. And this is going to store soybeans, and it's going to be set to supply. And then we can come in here and we can get a roof on there, as always. All right, so these are going to be high priority soybean, one of them set to harvesting, as always. And our population, I think, is getting a little out of hand. We have 15 vacancies. So here we have 10. In Whirlberg we have 1, and then up here we have 4. So it's not too bad. I went through and paused all of these extra Whirlberg breeding pods just because we're done with kid beavers. We're here for the adult beavers. So every breeding pod that is active right now is one of the advanced breeding pods. So that should be good. Okay, so another problem that we're dealing with is this right here. Wheelington has no food, and I don't really know why. Maybe somebody could explain it to me in the comments. But I just don't really understand why they're not importing food. I mean, they do. They just don't import a lot of it. You know, like there you go. They got some food, and then they're just immediately going to eat it all. And I actually think that that's what happened to our berries, is that all of our berries ended up here for whatever reason. So the only way that I can really think of kind of helping to resolve this is I'm going to add in another district crossing that's going to go directly to the farming district. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all of this. Probably would be nice if I picked up those resources, but I'm not all that concerned about it. And then I think we're just gonna get rid of all that. I do need to put that path back in. And then we'll come down here and we'll just delete all this rubble. It's fine. It's fine. And then what I think I'll do is I'll probably just throw a bridge right across here with some stairs. And then we'll just throw like a district crossing right here. I know it's not like we completely planned for it, but I mean, it'll work. At least I think, I hope. I just hope that it'll give them more of an opportunity to actually get food, because that's really what I'm concerned about. So why don't we throw this right here, and we'll just get this connected up just like that. And then I do want this to get built, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna prioritize all of this to get built. So that is now the priority. And this dynamite is actually doing pretty good as well. So why don't we clear out these paths, and then we can finish up this dynamite, and then we should be able to get some food planted up there. That'd be good. I haven't yet seen, you know, anybody die of starvation. So like, I think what they're doing is they're barely importing the amount of food that they need, if that makes sense. You know, they're not really, it's not like they're importing an excessive amount of food. So let's go ahead and close this up. We can get a little bit of water stored. Let's bring that down to 2.5. Okay, so that's gonna get done. They're laying the dynamite over here. Guess we can continue with that. Might as well get another dynamite in there. And then we have made some serious progress here on this water storage. So we are working on getting this dynamited out so that this will all be filled with water, and then we can continue dynamiting as we go. But okay, so with a drought approaching tomorrow, one thing that I would like to do, I would like to get more power being produced. Because during droughts, we are just not producing nearly enough power. And it's really hurting our food production because it kind of stalls out the fermenters. So let me see. I kind of want to move these storage tanks. So if I were to move them, I could move them 1, 2, and 3. And these will store bad water. Right? Yeah. Bad water. There we go. Let's, those can be a medium high priority, but for now, I do want to empty these so that we can get more, more power in here. Now, in order to get more power in here, we're going to need to expand this a little bit. So let's do something like this. And then if we get more engines, we can have another row like this, and then I want to do another row, kind of similar to the way that we had done it previously. These are going to need stairs to be able to get in, so we do need these to empty, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Let's run this path over here, and then I think, just like on the other one, we'll get a beaver statue right there. All right. So with the water pumping, they can keep pumping this. That's totally fine. Down here, so we have 10K water, which is pretty good. I think we're going to drop down to maybe just 1, quite honestly, just to kind of keep it topping off a little bit. And then similarly, we'll bring this down to 1. That would be good. All right. So let's get this dynamite laid. I don't know. Yep, so I want to make sure that there's 10 beavers in here. And then similarly 10 on this side, but they do need to get this built. So that will be good. It'll take them a little bit of time, but that should work. We're coming in here, we're getting this dynamite laid. Very good, very good. And then I think after this, we're going to want to get these farms built. So let's get the farms in the queue after they do this dynamite. That should be good. All right, so let's go check on our dynamite over here. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's not, you know, they're not rushing, but it's definitely coming along. And then this dynamite is working pretty well, so we can start to back off this path and get the double dynamite laid up here, and that should be good. All right, so let's see how we're doing. Yeah, still no deaths from lack of food, but still a lack of food, which is just not, it's not great. It's not great. I really hope that this is going to help get this stuff done. And then, yeah, just wanted to make sure that that's on the priority. And then we do just need to get these built so that we can empty these. That would be good. So let's see, is this empty? Yes, and this one is basically empty. And then this one is empty. I might actually have them, because we're kind of hurting for resources, so I might actually have them come over here and pick up whatever they can pick up over here. Gears and planks. Do we really need gears and planks? No, we really don't. We need logs, but not so much the gears and planks. All right, so let's get that hooked up. We can go into our well-being once again. And we can do another couple scratchers with another beaver statue. I like that. And then we can go ahead and get this in. I think I am going to just delete that engine so that we can get the power in here. And why don't we do something like that so that we can actually get over here and start to manipulate the power a little bit. Yeah, and you can just see that the food is I mean, we have plenty of food. It's just this is struggling. All right, let's get this dynamite blown up, and in order to save some frame rate, I'm gonna go into single speed, just because my my computer has been this map is getting pretty full, and I think I can definitely tell that my my computer is not the biggest fan of it. That's okay though. It's not the end of the world. And then why don't we get this dynamite done as well? So those will be our priorities here. Might as well put the storage on a medium priority, and then let's go ahead and get soybean planted in here. Can they reach? Yes, they can. So this will all be soybean. Just like that. And we can dynamite that away. And this will just help, I think this will just help with the overall soybean production. We might want to end up getting a couple more farms down here. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see kind of how it goes. So we are starting to get a little bit of soybeans stored up, which is good. And then how is the casava doing? It's not doing, you know, it's not doing that great. And I've kind of noticed that like all of this never gets harvested. So I might, and you know, a lot of people are probably gonna think I'm crazy here, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna add in another another farmhouse. It's okay. It's okay. It'll all work out. And I'm just gonna set this for cassava high priority. Do we actually have? Yeah, we have. So we have 10 unemployed beavers down here, none here, and then 14 up here. I'm wondering, did any of those die from starvation? I want to say no, but oh, it's probably because I got this operational. So hopefully that should help them get some food. I mean, it'll help them get, you know, fermented soybeans, and maybe they'll leech off of this storage down here. Probably wouldn't be the end of the world if they did that. But, you know, hopefully they kind of figure out how to balance themselves. That would be good. Okay, and this dynamite is continuing to be laid, which is great. We can back this off. So why don't we go ahead and do that? This can actually be backed off all the way. Would love to pick up those resources. Not sure if they'll pick up the planks, but we'll at least let them try, and they did, which is great. And now we can actually get rid of this whole thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get these resources picked up, and then let's go in here and lay some more dynamite. And they should come through there and pick those up, which would be good. All right, so the water is keeping up just fine. Hopefully, yeah, so this is gonna transfer scrap metal and food. There we go. All right, so the food is finally coming back up for that district, which is good. Let's go ahead and dynamite this out so that we can get this dynamite taken care of. And then they're working down here on the dams. I definitely want to get these dams done. I think that that's kind of a big reason why we are struggling so much on our wood, is just because we are, I mean, look at how many dams. Look at how many levees we had to build down here. And each levee is what, 12 logs, and then dams are 20? Yeah. And then all of these platforms, and all of these platforms, it's kind of a mess. All right. Let's start to deal with our housing issue, because it's pretty excessive. 79 homeless beavers, 60 down here. Okay. So let's start down here, dealing with this housing. So we can fit 2 more houses there. Then we could actually run a path right here. So let's get 2 more houses. This is going to be another 20. Another 20 for us, and I might actually change this layout. So let's get rid of those. I'm not sure what these resources are. Hopefully they're logs. Yes, they are. Okay, logs and planks. Very nice. And then let's go into well-being and let's get a pair of rooftop terraces right here. We can get a path in here, and then why don't we get maybe a couple medical beds? I've been seeing some injured beavers around here, and it's not the best. It's not what we want to see. And then we can go ahead and hook that up. And then you know what? I could actually get a rooftop terrace right here as well. So why don't we get those resources picked up? And then we can get another rooftop terrace right here. And let's see, how are we doing? Yeah, I think we'll make these the highest priority. So all of this is now the highest priority. And then if we go into our decorations, we could get maybe a bell right here. Everyone likes the bell. Maybe a beaver bust right here. And then if we go into well-being, we could probably get a couple scratchers here. I'm going to delete this one so that we can put a shrub in here. A couple shrubs just like that. And I'm actually going to get that shrub built so that we can put the other scratcher. Put the other scratcher in. That would be good. All right, so this dynamite is laid. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then let's see how far this extends. I think I'm just going to come in here with soybean right here. So this will all be fermented soybean. And it looks like they're going to be able to reach pretty far. What I might do, I might add like one more farm over here. So if we were to do that, we would need a way to get up here. So let's do something like this. And then we could actually add a farm right here. And this will prioritize soybean, and it'll be on the highest priority. And they could actually come over here and help on the cassava a little bit. That'll be okay. All right, speaking of cassava, I'm going to do something that's really not necessary. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that cassava so that I can put a path in there. Because you guys know that I don't like those closed off railings. The closed off railings is not what we like. All right, so this district, yeah, they're doing better on the food. Okay, so that makes me a little bit more comfortable. This district is actually not doing that great. Our food is actually just, man, struggling. All right, and let's see, how are we doing on the raw resources? So, how are we doing on cassava in this district? Not great. And the soybeans not doing great either. Yeah, it's just kind of struggling to keep up. Hopefully this will help. This will be a lot more soybean for them to deal with. And then I would love to come over here and dynamite this away so that we can continue to plant. So why don't we get some stairs coming down here, and then we'll need some stairs going up and up again. And up again. So we will need something like that, and then this is all going to be triple dynamite. This is going to be double dynamite. And then this is going to be single dynamite. And that should give us a bit more growable area down here. And then I think next we'll kind of transition over to this region, and then kind of this area to get some stuff planted up. But that should be good. Interesting, we have a huge stock of... Oh, that's probably because our power, yeah. That is probably what's holding us up. And our berries seem to be recovering a little bit. Wow, our food. Our food is just not, it's not doing it. So, let's see, we're gonna have to remove that. And we're gonna have to get a triple in there. And let's get that delivered. Let's get that built as soon as possible. And this should just take a couple logs, so hopefully they come up here and build that. And then after that, we're gonna run down to here. We will get a triple, just like that. So let's do something like that. I really need this built, man. Maybe I shouldn't have done that during a drought. Maybe that wasn't the wisest move. Because we actually are doing okay on the raw resources. Just not super great on the actual fermenting because we're completely stalled out on power. But there we go. So this just got built, so now we should be doing a little bit better. Still nowhere near enough power. Let's get a, I'm gonna get a single in there just for future purposes, and then we'll go ahead and get an engine in here. Yep, so 1 day left in the drought. Hopefully we can survive. Wow, look at our food. This might be the end of the playthrough, guys. It might be the end of the playthrough, if I'm being honest. Alright, so how's this dynamite doing? Dynamite is doing just fine, so let's go ahead and get some doubles in there, and then we can go ahead and dynamite this whole thing away. And that should really help us on the water. We're not going to do that quite yet, just because we're in the middle of a drought, and that would really mess with our water supply. Okay, so once we get this power up and running, let's see, get all that done. That's the priority. And then, yeah, It's like, it's kind of like last time where we're gonna get it finished just in time for the drought to end, and basically just in time for it to not really matter. Which, you know, that's great. That's exactly what we want. But okay. We can just kind of start to dynamite this away. And this should really help us with the logs. We can dynamite those away. It's not an issue. And then we just need to dynamite that away, and then we need to bring this whole pad down one whole level, and then we should be able to plant a pretty decent number of logs after that. That is if we survive long enough to get there. Which, you know, jury's out on whether we will. But okay, let's do some reprioritizing here. So they're still working on all this. I think we'll get this storage done, and then we will start working on. Let's see. I would love to get this farm done. Yeah, we'll kind of do that, and then I'll probably put all of this on a medium high priority. So, you know, they can work on it if they finish the highest priority things. All right. We got that shrub in, which is great. So we can now get this in. Why don't we get those done just to add to the well-being a little bit? That would probably be helpful. And let's see. So our water is returning, which is excellent. It's really what we want to see. I think once this overtops and fills in everything down the line, that's when we'll go ahead and blow up that dynamite, which should help. All right, quick food check. Whew. Not great. It's not the best. It's actually really, really not good, if we're being honest. Is there anywhere that I could... Have I just been neglecting farmable area for a while? I mean, technically all of this, but that's more important. That's for the water storage. Let's come over here. We can continue to dynamite this away and get ready for the logs. They can work on that if they don't have very much else to do. Yeah, this is not... It's not going particularly well, if I'm being honest. I'm really relying on the soybeans to be the saviors, and I just don't know if they will be. I mean, this does turn them into 20. Should I get more fermenters for the soybeans? Potentially. That could potentially help us. So why don't we do that? Let's see, am I going to need it to go in this direction? No, probably not. It'll probably terminate right there. It actually probably won't. So if we get a quad in here, it'll actually probably turn this way. Come out this way. So let's get all of this built so we can get a little bit more fermented soybean production, and maybe that will save us. I mean, who knows? It might. We have a ton of mushrooms. I would really love it if those would get produced. They should. They only take 2 hours to make 16, so hopefully. But yeah, our food, it's kind of really fluctuating a lot, actually, which is interesting. And we are actually almost out of water down here, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let out some water to make sure that this gets topped off, because the soybeans die so quickly if they are out of water. I want to say that they last like less than a day if they are not hydrated, which is not good. Not very good. All right, so the water's coming down. Yeah, man, that's gonna take a while to overtop. Unfortunately, we do have the water coming back down the path. So why don't we get these pumps back online so we can at least have water. They might not have any food, but they'll have water. And I'm really worried that this is going to dry out. That would be not very good. But let's see, we're getting water flowing in here. So now we just need it to flow right over here and fill this up. Okay, we should get another engine in here now that we are connected up. So let's get this in here. And then let's get our other engine in here. I know that these consume wood and they're not completely necessary during full water season. But I do think that we need the power. And there we go. So we're getting we're getting over top. We're getting more water coming down here, which is good. Which will keep all of this hydrated, so we can close that back up. And I think now we will do some dynamiting. So let's go single speed. Again, it's just gonna destroy my frames, but that's okay. And now we're getting some water in here, which is excellent. And again, we're going to continue to build upwards with this. And I'm actually curious to see if this will provide any irrigation over here. It may not. Either way, you know, it's not the end of the world. Hopefully once it's full, it will provide irrigation. But we'll kind of have to see. We'll have to see. All right, so if we come back down here, what are they working on? So they're probably working on this dam. Yes, they are. With the 90 logs that exist in the entire colony, which is not great. How's our housing doing? 47 vacancies, 37 here, so we would need 4 more houses, which we just can't afford with the logs. 10 over here and none up here. So 53 vacancies though. It's pretty extreme. 22 up here, 15 up here. We might have to get a couple of these old breeding pods back online. Maybe we'll bring like 7 of them back online. It should be okay. 17 vacancies here. It's actually quite a bit. Probably going to need more breeding pods down here, but the problem is that I don't really want to overshoot the population because Wizard of Oz, because the food is struggling so much, you know. But either way, let's get those 2 more fermenters in here that we wanted, and then we can go ahead and put a shrub in there. A great use of the no wood that we have. And then these are going to be for fermenting soybeans. So there we go. That'll be good. Okay, so if we go into our, let's see, is it well-being or monuments? Yeah, so labor monuments. This will take 200 logs, which we totally don't have, but I'm going to build one anyway. Because I think it'll help the beavers. So let's get a labor monument in. I think we'll have it face the district center right there. So let's go through, let's prioritize. I want the labor monument built first. And then the other fermenters, I think would be good. So we're getting some more soybeans coming in, so hopefully that'll help our food a bit. And then let's see if we come over here. Yeah, they're still working over there. What is this district working on? They're working over here. That's okay. Let's at least get all this stuff built so that the engines are ready to go when the time comes. And I'm curious, if I put this here, can they reach that? It says that they can, but part of me thinks that that's because they haven't finished this engine yet. So let's get this one built. This beaver statue. That would be good. All right, so if we come over here, so the water is starting to work. Why haven't they built? Ah, they can't actually reach it. Let's get rid of those stairs. Let's go into back into triple speed, and then I would love it if they would come over and build this. Build this dynamite. That would be great. So let's see. There we go. Okay, and now we can put the stairs back in, which would be great. All right, so now I kind of rethought how I'm gonna do this. So first of all, let's delete these out. I am gonna do it strategically because I do want these logs. Think about the number of resources that we have just destroyed in this game, just because we didn't want to be bothered to pick them up. And now look at us. Think of all the logs that we could have saved. All right, we have a pretty significant amount of mushrooms. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to swap these over. I'm going to go fermented mushroom on these 4, and then fermented cassava over here. And hopefully they'll come over here and grab these cassavas out of here. Yes, they will. All right, so now we have 4 making fermented mushrooms and only 3 making fermented cassava, because in this district, we just have way more raw mushroom than we do raw cassava. So I think that that's a good swap, and I think that that will help our food a bit, get a little bit more mushroom fermented. And let's see, yeah, they're building this slowly but surely. And I don't really... Oh, interesting. They've come over here to place this dynamite. That's very interesting. It's not really the priority, but, you know, I'll allow it. And let's see, how are they doing over here? They're doing okay. So we can just kind of keep dynamiting this out, and then we can plant more soybean, which will be good. How far can this reach? Actually, not that far. Kind of starting to think that that wasn't a very good spot to put this. That'll be okay. They'll come over here and get those soybeans. We've actually got a decent stock of soybeans right now, 480, which is pretty good, honestly. These should be set to supply, but I actually don't think this district really has any haulers. Yeah, not very many. Let's go ahead and get these unpaused, just because our population is dipping a little bit. Not horribly, but just a little. All right, so did they come over here and pick up these logs? Yes, they did. Okay. So let's get these removed, and then let's pick up these logs. That would be good. And then let's see. Oh, if we come back over here, have they laid this dynamite? Yes, they have. Okay. So now we can lay more dynamite and get this dynamited away. Can they reach that? Yes, they can. And this actually needs to be triples. So let's lay triples up there. And then we just need to bring this whole thing down one more level. And then we'll probably end up putting in some dams right here. Can't hurt. So let's do like a levee here. And then some dams here. And we can actually use this for our stairs. And then if we come over here, we can do just dams right across here. And we can put some platforms in there. And we could run across there. And then I think, you know, we'll dynamite that out. It could be... we could make that plantable. Although I think I'm going to put a double right here. So we'll just cut that off. That would be good. Okay, so how are we doing? Food. Ooh, food is actually kind of on the rebound. See, this is what I'm talking about with the food. It swings. Like, it, you know, sometimes you look at it and you're like, wow, you're about to run out of food tomorrow. And then other times you look at it and it's just kind of okay. You know, it's just kind of doing its thing. So, you know, who knows? I don't really know how to judge it. And the berries are actually recovering a little bit, so maybe this is enough. I think it was just that we had run out of food. So the berries were struggling. I think if we keep the food high, we should be in a good spot. So let's go ahead, we can dynamite that out. And then I would love to get this dynamited away so that we can plant more down here. More soybeans. Can never have enough soybean. So hopefully they come over here and they can actually harvest these soybean. But we're actually doing pretty good. 624 on the soybean. We only have 2 haulers, which is not ideal. Oh, awesome! And we got the labor monument. So how are these guys doing? 17. So let's get those built. That's the next priority. And then where else could I put a labor monument that would be effective? Maybe one kind of over here by all this housing. I feel like a lot of beavers run by here. One way or another. Could also probably put one... Let's see, can I actually... Yeah, why don't we put it right here? So we can put another labor monument, maybe right there. I think that'll look nice. Yeah. And then let's make that a maximum priority so that that can actually get built. All right, so if we go into our food here, food factory, the ratios are not the best. But I think the speeds are pretty good. Yeah, see, the speeds are awesome. Because, like, this takes 2 to 3 hours, whereas the food factory takes, like, for the algae, a quarter of an hour. To go from 1 algae to 6. But if I remember correctly, where is it? Hydroponic garden. Yeah, look at how long algae takes. 288 hours. To make 70 algae. Yeah, so we would need another massive tower over here. You know, things to think about. Man, we have 61 vacancies. I feel like that's a lot. And I feel like I didn't really build all that much stuff extra. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going a little crazy. Anyway, let's come over here. Let's pick these up. And then we can dynamite out a little bit further. They're actually building this dam, which is fine. They can build the dam. It's not like it's a priority, but it's not really the end of the world either. All right, so let's come over here. Let's continue to dynamite this away. And let's pick up these resources. And then we're also going to need to get rid of this lantern. We can pick up those resources. Look at all the beavers coming over here to pick these up. But okay, so if we go into our... So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially make this the wall of the dam, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if it does. I might be doing a bad job explaining myself. And then we're going to actually run the power straight across here on some platforms. So let's get some, we're going to need some platforms in there. So they can work on this. And then if we go through and we actually get one of these deep mechanical fluid pumps, it's going to sit right like this. So they'll pump in, which means I can actually get rid of all of this because we don't have the logs to go completely crazy yet. Not yet. All right, food check. Food's doing okay. Not amazing, but it's doing okay. Actually, mushrooms are doing pretty good. Cassava, yeah, still that raw cassava is just not. It's not what we're after. But that's okay. So let's dynamite this out, and then with that, I think that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely consider leaving a like and a comment below. I really enjoy getting the comments, and I genuinely appreciate all of the engagement with the videos. As well, if you're enjoying the channel, consider subscribing. It's right below. You can just hit that subscribe. It really helps out the channel with the visibility, and I really appreciate it. It's super motivating to see all of the subscriptions. So anyway, if you guys are enjoying the series, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.